Well, welcome to a special playoff edition digging in episode with my man, Jaccob Slavin. And Slaves, I start every show by asking how you define digging in. I want you to do that, and then in particular, what you like most about how your team dug in. I mean, right from the get-go yesterday.
Yeah, thanks for having me first. But the term digging in to me, I feel like it's where you just kind of say, you know what, you got to do what you got to do to get the job done. And you think about digging, it's not an easy thing. And so, there's hard work to be had, but in the end, it's worth it. And so, yeah, that's kind of what digging in to me means. And then you look at how our team dug in yesterday, big absence of hockey in all of our lives, and to come back and play an intense game like that for the first game of the playoffs was huge. And obviously to get the win was even bigger. And so, no, the team did great yesterday, and we really did dig in.
You know, Jacob, as you're one of your broadcasters, I mean, my job is so fun for a variety of reasons, but because even though I'm not with you in the bubble, I know how much your group, all of your teammates, you guys care about each other. And you were on the ice. I have to look at the clip. Where were you on the ice, and what do you remember seeing Brady Shea, who loved being a Ranger, legally finish that hit? I mean, so early in the hockey game, because you guys have really welcomed him and made him completely feel what it is to be a Hurricane.
Yeah. I actually just got on the ice for the first time in the game because it was still within the first 30 seconds. Eddie had just changed and I hopped right on. So I was just about at the blue line when that hit was when Shazy hit the guy. And so no, the feeling of that was just like, oh snap, that just happened. And then you could just kind of feel I mean, obviously it's a very empty building, but you could feel everybody just like, wow, that was a big hit. And then from there, the intensity just took off. And I think from both sides, both benches, it just woke everybody up, kind of put everybody in the game. Like, okay, no, this is not an exhibition game anymore. We are in the month of August playing playoff hockey. And no, yeah, Shazy's fit in perfectly with our group, and to see him do that was great. And like I said, it set the intensity for the game.
Okay, so then you build on it, and well, I'm sitting there thinking, partner, about your first goal in the NHL in Dallas, and I mean, it's the two fins, the work, and then for Sebastian to hit you with that pass, but on your natural side, to be able to go underneath the bar. I mean, you fit that into such a tight spot against Henrik Lundqvist, who's been a cane killer. When you received that puck, Slaves, did you see any room to decide where to go with the shot location?
Honestly, I got the pass from Turbo, and I was so deep already. I knew there was no chance to go far side, I guess, because his body's coming over, right, and shifting over, so there's no angle to go far side. So I just try to get it off as quick as I can, short side, and ended up working out and going in. So not necessarily in my bag of tricks, but I'll take it.
I would say that I think it is in your bag of tricks. And you and I have had this conversation. Maybe it's not something that comes as naturally, but we've had talks through the years about the offensive part of your game. Where would you say, whether it be in terms of the mental approach or the actual execution, things you've worked on, that you've grown to be able to finish a gem like that, my man?
I think just the mental approach to it, and like you said, we've talked about this a lot, but just like knowing when to jump down, when not to jump down. And you see, obviously it was under tough circumstances for Fast of the Rangers, and just obviously he just from the hit, he was still a little dazed, and so to be able to jump down the backside when the forward's not looking is something that I've just had to learn to do over the past couple of years. And you watch guys like Dougie do it all the time, and some other defensemen in the league, and just seeing when they jump, and then just trying to put that into action.
And we wish Jesper Fast a speedy recovery. I mean, a guy that just won the Players Player Award for the fifth consecutive. I mean, think about that, fifth consecutive year, voted on by teammates. Speaking of a popular teammate, Slaves, I'm just going to go chronologically. I mean, I was in our home TV booth at PNC, and all of a sudden I see JW I mean, atypically dropped the gloves. You're an alternate captain on the team. Were you? I have to look. Were you on the ice? Were you on the bench? And
I was on the bench. I looked at guards. I was just like, how did that just start? And then no, it's obviously Willie. He's been through a lot of these playoffs in his career, and so he knows the feel for the game, the intensity of the game. Obviously, that intensity picked up really quick. The hitting got crazy, and he's not one to back down. And so he answered the bell there, and he wanted to keep that momentum going on our side, and he did just that. And kept our intensity up, kept our mind as a team in the right spot to just keep playing hard and keep digging in.
Oh, it certainly was digging in deep, practically the center of the earth. Okay, well, you really dug in 7 times killing penalties. And I mean, those are heavy. First of all, why is penalty killing? I almost compare it to, being a Colorado native, some of the heaviness of shifts in the altitude. Why, first of all, do you agree? And if you do, why are penalty killing shifts that much heavier, especially when you have to do it 7 times?
Yeah, I think you're down a guy to start, and so everything is that much more, I don't want to say exaggerated, but that much more important with where you are positionally. And I mean, the forwards have it way worse than defensemen because they're the ones running around the top and trying to cut down the angles and everything. And as defensemen, once the puck gets down low, we're just trying to battle and get the puck out. And so, no, I think you're just working that much harder because you're down a guy. And so they're not fun, but we did a great job. And obviously good penalty kill starts with the goalie. So Raz did a great job yesterday for us. And that on the 7 kills, made some good saves when he had to. And then, we, as a unit of 4 out there, we did a great job, just not giving them much, not letting them set up too much, and making sure their break-ins weren't as crisp as they had been in the regular season.
You played almost 25 minutes, partner. How do you feel? Almost 25 minutes and all those kills. So those are quality minutes, heavy minutes, like I said. Were you tired at all? How'd the Slavin frame feel this morning when you woke up?
Not too bad. Not too bad today at practice. It felt fine. It's weird taking four months off and then playing one exhibition game and going right into a playoff game that was that physical. And so no, the body's feeling good and ready to go for game 2.
You mentioned Raz, old Pietro Mrazek. He was very solid yesterday. I could almost hear through my monitor, here in Raleigh, the communication that is now invaluable, that if you're playing in say in the Washington series with our crowd going bonkers, or say at Madison Square Garden on the road, you wouldn't be able to hear each other on the ice. Did you notice both in the exhibition game and yesterday that, like say it's Peter, I remember one clear, he went on the backhand, that you guys were utilizing that. Did you make a point to communicate more because you can hear each other much better?
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, you can hear each other a lot more, and that communication goes on during a game with fans in there as well. But obviously from your booth, you wouldn't be able to hear that just because of the crowd noise. But no, the communication aspect's huge, especially when there is no fans, and to create that atmosphere and that same intensity of the game, you have to be involved in multiple different ways, and communication is one of those, especially on the bench. Even just a little plays in the game, getting up and cheering on your teammates or whatever it is, and making sure that communication is being had, just to help create that atmosphere and keep that energy level up.
Slaves, Sammy Vodden, your partner for now, seems to be getting more comfortable each and every shift. How would you assess specifically the type of partner that he is? He's a competitor. Oh boy, he really he digs in.
Yeah, no, it was great playing with him yesterday, and I think we did solid together. We had a couple good. They were coming down on the rush on a couple tries, and we had good partner movement together, and just shutting that down before they could even get a sniff at anything. So that's huge there, just to be able to have that gap and that chemistry so quickly was nice. And Obviously he's good at running the power play as well, and we saw that with our second goal. And so just being able to have that aspect of his game dialed in after being off of game mode for 6 months for him, so that's good to see. And like you said, he's going to continue to get better every shift.
We're going to, at some point, we'll have a full episode, and I want to get into a variety of topics, wide-ranging topics, but just want to touch on a couple right now, my great friend. I guess the first thing would be, what have you got to the bubble a week ago tonight? What have you been doing with the downtime you've had?
A couple different things. They got, obviously the hotel here is pretty big, and we have a pretty good sized common area, I guess you could say, that you can rent out or reserve. And so there's been a couple times where me and some of the guys go downstairs and we take some of the putters that they have for us down there, and we play a alternate shot little tournament, and just a putting tournament. And so that's been fun. And then Settlers of Katan, we've been playing quite a few games of that with Jordo, Fogues, Dougie, Marty, and Reimer. So we got a couple games of Katan in, and I brought the PlayStation. Been playing a little bit of video games and a couple books, and so just reading as well. And so lots of things going on in the downtime. But no, it's been a fun first week, and obviously now it's time to go, and so it's going to be a little different in these next couple weeks.
Who's the best putter and the best Katan player?
There's been a couple different winners in Katan. Marty won one, Rhymes won one, Fogues won one. I've won two, I think, and then the putting, the 2 times I was in it, I won. So I'm not going to say I'm the best putter. I had good teammates, though. I had a good teammate in the putting. I had Marty for the first round, and then Trocheck for the second round. So I had good partners.
Slaves, we haven't played together yet on the course. Thank God I wasn't in your group, because they call me Staccato. This is my putting stroke. There's no fluidity. no feel to that then. Staccato.
Oh man.
Your beautiful wife Kylie, Emerson, your beautiful daughter. Have you been able to FaceTime with them a lot here in the first week?
Yep. FaceTime at least once a day. She's back home with her family though, and so they got a couple. My wife's sister has 2 kids who are 16 months apart, and one's maybe 8 months older than Emerson, and the other one's a couple months younger than Emerson. So they're busy right now there, but FaceTiming them, send pictures all the time, and so it's been good. It's been tough. They're going to go to the zoo for the first time for Emerson on Wednesday, so I'll miss that. But Kyle will send me videos, so that'll be okay. But no, they're doing well. So it's been good to be able to communicate with them and FaceTime them when I can, though.
That's cool. I'm trying to, in my head, think about my first visit ever to the zoo. I'm trying to think and what my favorite animal was. And
yeah, she loves birds right now. She's fascinated with them. So anytime she sees a bird, she's just yelling it out, bird, bird. And so she likes that, but she likes any animal. So it'll be fun. It'll be really fun for her.
And it'll be all world. And you guys will have many, many trips with beautiful person to the zoo. I dug in with Jordan and Mark Stahl right on Friday, and I touched upon at the end, Slaves, and they gave wonderful answers about their faith being the foundation of every who the Stalls are, and I will share openly that if I've ever been in the Valley, Jaccob Slavin, Jordan Stahl, you've been there, and you've been there in spades, and I'll never forget that. So I just was hoping, if you're comfortable talking about it, how are you staying connected with regards to your faith while you're in the bubble?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it is the most important part of my life and what my foundation is built on. And so, just trying to read. Obviously, like you said, we have a lot of downtime here, and so just trying to make sure I'm reading the Bible every day, and spending time in prayer every day, and talking with, whether it's Rhymes or Jordo or our team, Sid, our team chaplain, staying in touch with him, I think we're going to do a chapel here soon via Zoom with a couple of the guys and Sid and have him run it. And so doing that, gonna watch the church service from last night here at some point today as well. And so thankfully, just with all the media that we have and social media that we have going on, we're able to still watch church services even when we're not in person. And so that's been nice. So yeah, and just reading. I got a couple books here, like I said earlier, and so reading those books and just doing that. And so yeah, that's just while I'm here in the bubble, that's what I got to work with. So
that's cool. And Sid, you mentioned the team chaplain, just a special human being. And I have to, Slaves, I was talking to, I talked to Rhymes right after he won his game of Katan. And, and Rhymes is actually trying to become a pilot, getting his pilot's license. And so he said, because I know a pilot that I met actually years ago when I was in Hong Kong that lives in Western Canada. And he reminded me, well, Sid, aside from being, your chaplain, just an exceptional human being, and he's taught me so much about faith as of you, that he's a pilot for Federal Express. So, at some point, Rhymes is going to have to, dig in with Sid about the aviation.
Well, they've dug in together already. They've gone for a flight together. And Rhymes brought his simulator to the bubble and everything. So he's full blown on to trying to figure out how to fly a plane, which is scary. But he's dug in with Sid in the air before.
I joked with Rhymes because, it was always my dream. I've loved, like Emerson's going to the zoo. I always loved airplanes and airports as a kid. Like I could tell you every airline in the world. I really could. Place. I love seeing the big jets. But my dream always was that you guys, dig in, have a big win. And I'm not just your color analyst. I'm your pilot. Boys, it's up here in the cockpit. Looks like a smooth ride. Way to dig in tonight. You guys would probably all run to get off the plane.
I think we'd be running. That's funny.
I'm gonna let you go in a sec, but I will. I just happened right before you and I did this. I saw for the first time Matt Dumba's, unbelievably powerful remarks. What a superb job speaking about Black Lives Matter. Have you seen those remarks? And if you have, what were your impressions?
Yeah, actually, like you said, just before we got on this, I was on Twitter and I saw it come up on my feed. And what he said is spot on. And just with everyone being, the veil's been removed to what is going on in our country and our world with systemic racism and just everything, police brutality, whatever it is. And so with my daughter, I've been able to, in a way, witness it firsthand, just in some of the encounters my wife and I have had, not in like a crazy way, but just in little thing and implicit biases and stuff like that. We've seen some of that racism and experienced some of that racism towards our daughter. And so just little things like that. So what he said was spot on, and it needs to be talked about. It is being talked about, which is great. And I think at the root core of it is a heart issue, is a sin issue. And so obviously we need to continue to talk about it, it starts with yourself and being aware of it and seeing the sin in your own life and maybe the implicit biases that you have personally, and then from there just working out. And so it's awesome that it's getting the attention that it's getting, and it's long overdue, and needs to just continue to get talked about and continue to honestly to dig in and work through it, because it's going to take a lot of work. And but this is the start. Like you said, it is being talked about, so that's a good thing.
I thought it was unbelievably, almost indescribably courageous on Matt's part. Really. Okay, last thing. That cool hat, I believe, is your buddy, a Christian hip hop artist. Can you tell me more about it? Give him a plug, because I might listen to some of his tunes this afternoon.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know him personally. Big fan of his though. Andy Mineo, and his M is not for Mineo, it's for Minor, and his I guess his clothing line is called Minor League. And I watched a video about it one time, and just talking about, I thought it was like, oh, like the AHL or whatever, but it's not that. It was talking about, I don't want to butcher this, and so I'm not even trying to answer it. But no, he's a great Christian hip hop artist. Has some awesome songs, and I saw at the beginning of quarantine he posted his hat online. I was like, oh, that's a cool hat, and so I went and ordered a couple for me and my friend and my brothers, and so no, it's a good one. I like it. It fits well, and got a couple compliments on it, so I keep wearing it.
It's sharp, and he's gonna have a new customer and trip. So
Yeah, there we go.
yeah, Slaves, I miss you, buddy. It's so good
Yeah.
to see your face, and I hope you have a good rest of the Sunday, and good luck tomorrow. I really appreciate your digging in.
Yes, absolutely, Chip. Thanks for having me on, and we'll look forward to digging in for a longer time in the future.
You're on. Thanks, partner.